Welcome to Mikon's Hardware. As you can see, I'm here busy with some gardening work, but this is not going to stop me from recording a review or a video about ERYING B760-I motherboard for you. But first, let me flip the camera so you can actually see the motherboard. Okay, so here is this ERYING B760-I motherboard, and as you can see, I put it on top of some wood logs, and that's on purpose, because the motherboard turned out to be so trashy and so bad that I just had to do that. Originally, I planned to test the motherboard with many different CPUs, verify everything, and after that build a mini-ITX gaming computer inside a Cooler Master and R200 chassis. But the motherboard turned out to be so trashy and the AliExpress seller support so pointless and so useless that I have no other options left but record this video. First, let me get inside and continue recording there because it's quite windy outside and I think my microphone is not going to record anything good. Okay, ERYING B760-I motherboard. Here I have got into troubles straight out of the box. I was not able to install Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo or Be Quiet Shadow Rock CPU coolers because of the VRM heatsinks. The heatsinks are installed in such a way that it is not possible to mount these CPU coolers. Immediately after solving the CPU cooling problem, I have figured out that ERYING B760-I refuses to boot up with my G.Skill DDR4 3200CL14 memory modules. I have managed to get the motherboard boot up with this memory 1 or 2 times, but in most of the cases it would beep and go into a boot loop. Of course, I tried to talk to the AliExpress seller and ask what's going on, and guess what? They suggested me to replace my power supply. Such a genius idea. Of course, replacing the power supply did not change a thing, and I was forced to test with Corsair DDR4 3200CL16 memory. With this memory, the motherboard boots up almost every time, but still, in some random cases, the motherboard would beep and go into a boot loop. After that, I figured out that just like many Chinese X99 motherboards, B760-I from ERYING does not support sleep mode. It is possible to send your computer to sleep, but the computer will not shut down and the fans will keep spinning, and to get back to a normal state, you have to physically power off your computer and power it back on. USB 3 ports are very often problematic with the Chinese X79, X99 motherboards, and guess what? ERYING B760-I also has these issues. Running Crystal Disk Mark benchmark with my external Samsung T5 SSD drive using the USB 3 ports, somehow randomly I could get speed which is 10 times slower than what it is supposed to be. Sometimes the speed is okay, sometimes the speed is 10 times slower. I don't know what's the rule here, but sometimes it works properly, sometimes it does not. The last issue that killed this motherboard for me is that the system locks up right after Cinebench R23 test. During the test, the motherboard works okay, but as soon as the test completes, the system locks up. This usually happens when CPU has inappropriate voltage or inappropriate power delivery. So when the test finishes, the CPU drops its clock frequency and drops its voltage, and if the voltage is not correct or the power delivery is not correct, the system locks up. So these were the major issues of ERYING B760-I motherboard that I was able to detect. Additionally, I can mention that at least right now there is no official page of ERYING B760-I motherboard where you could get a BIOS update. As of right now, according to the AliExpress seller, the motherboard supports Intel 12th and 13th Gen CPUs. The motherboard, according to the seller, does not support Intel 14th Gen CPUs, and there is no information if the motherboard will ever support 14th Gen CPUs. Of course, I tried to communicate with the seller and inform them about all of these issues, but they believe that it is me who needs to get the product working. They do not understand that I give no care if ERYING B760-I works or does not work. My goal is to test this motherboard and tell you, potential buyers, if this motherboard is worth your attention or no. But the AliExpress seller believes that it is me who is responsible to get this motherboard working, and if I want to get any support from them, I'm supposed to do everything for free, waste my time, and record detailed step-by-step videos how to reproduce one or another issue, and only after that, maybe, I will get some help and some support from them. In this case, I see absolutely no reason why I shall keep spending and wasting my time on this absolutely flawed ERYING B760-I motherboard. So here you have it, my woodlog review of ERYING B760-I motherboard, and as you could have guessed it, I absolutely do not recommend this motherboard. I hope this is just my particular sample that has all these bizarre issues, and you might be lucky getting a better sample and yours will be working just fine, but in any case, because of the absolutely useless AliExpress support, and because of so many issues with my motherboard, under no circumstances I can recommend this motherboard. And with this, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, goodbye.